Welcome back, you guys. What you're telling me, I'm in EFC. This is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm here to bring you guys another news daily video. Now, this time I'm going to focus on 3 stories today. They are going to center around the big update surrounding Kai Havertz and his destined move to us. And to move on, I'm then going to speak about Tagliafico and the latest news before ending with a goalkeeping update surrounding Dean Henderson and Areola. So this is going to be another informative video. I hope you guys do enjoy. But before I move on, we get the plugs out the way. First plug, smash that like button. I'm going to get over 2,500 likes for today's video. And for the second plug, today's video is brought to you by the One Football app. Now, I've used this app for a very long time, and I know that a lot of you guys have used the app as well. So at this point in time, One Football, who have constantly looked to improve and make the user experience better for us, have given their app a brand new visual revamp. And I have to say, it's not something just done for pure stylistic effect. Now, this is thinking about the user, with the use of bold, bright, vivid prints, to making the text clearer and simpler to read as well, so we can get the stories that we want to see in the quickest, most efficient way, to even revamping the look of the logo, which now represents a player kicking a ball. These are nice details added to an already expansive and detailed app, so if you guys want to try the app out for yourselves, you'll find a link below in the description below. But now, we start with the first story, and this is centered around Kai Havertz and the latest updates. Now, this update came out from Christian Falk, who I see him as basically the German Matt Law, and he came out suggesting that this Thursday, when Leverkusen have their training session, Kai Havertz is going to hold talks with Leverkusen to persuade them to let him go. So this is like the perfect news I wanted to hear, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly why once we get through this news story first. Now, to continue on, these reports suggesting that it seems like we could be signing the player for 70 million. They're not super concrete just yet, but this is a figure and fee I'm continuously seeing floating around on social media and through the media as well. So this tells us that we're either going to buy him for around 70 million, or maybe it is going to be 70 million upfront with clauses on top. As I've been stressing though, key details like that most likely won't be revealed until the actual day of the announcement, when both parties finally reach an agreement. So right now, I don't even want to say this is like educated speculation, because that would not be fair or correct. I think right now this is just an old figure and fee floating around doing the rounds, but this does give us like an indication to tell us how much Kai is actually going to cost us. It seems like Leverkusen have accepted that Kai is most definitely leaving, and it seems like they're now turning their attentions to replacements for Havertz. And this moves on to Real Madrid and Leverkusen, because reports are coming out suggesting that Leverkusen are trying to do business to sign Real Madrid's new young 18-year-old Brazilian sensation in Reina, who literally fits that Kai Havertz mold. They are the same profile of player, they play that same style, that same role, and it's quite funny because near the end of last year, reports were coming out suggesting that we were looking at Reina to sign for ourselves. I think what's interesting now looking back at that story is that that was probably the major hint to really tell us what Lampard's plans were for the team, and what Lampard's plans were to mold us and take us forward to that next level. If Leverkusen were to capture Reina, he would sign on a long-term loan, and you know, this would make sense because Leverkusen and Madrid, they do have a business relationship. We can't forget players like Havertz, first making their names at Leverkusen before returning back to Real Madrid. So it seems like in that area, Leverkusen have found their perfect replacement for Havertz already. Still though, to complete the story, this is actually great news to hear that Havertz is making his intentions clear. You know, he's setting that example. He's going to speak to the Leverkusen board to let them know, listen, I want to leave and I don't want you to long out this deal even more. I personally feel like this is us absolutely winning, and I think this just shows us that we are now in control of these negotiations, because we've used a similar tactic like this countless times before, recently and infamously when we signed Sarri from Napoli, because we can't forget when I was covering that story, we put a lot of pressure on Sarri to basically sever those ties at Napoli. By doing that, it got us the negotiation deal that we wanted. We were able to sign Sarri alongside Jorginho for a much better fee than what Napoli originally wanted, and it seems like we are doing the same things with Kai Havertz. So it feels like to me we are in complete control of these negotiations, and this deal is going to get wrapped up very, very soon. It's actually mad to think that we're going to sign Kai Havertz. But now to move on to the second story, and this is now focused and centered around Tagliafico. Now, more news has come out on a player that I've been a big fan of and I've been advocating for a very long time. These reports have come out from Mundo Deportivo and they're suggesting that at this point in time, Tagliafico's realistic options to sign for his next club are between us and Atletico Madrid. Now, it comes as no surprise that Tagliafico is destined to leave Ajax. Ajax came out and publicly stated that Onana, Van der Beek and Tagliafico were the three most likely departures for this season, and their departures of course would depend on the fee that the club can receive for those players. Now, to continue on, and what I found really interesting was that in the article it states that a €25 million bid has been placed for Tagliafico. Now, it doesn't categorically state where that bid came from, but it does strongly imply and suggest that we were the club to place that bid for Tagliafico. So I think his price would be around, 22.5 million if we have placed that €25 million bid. And as I'm constantly stressing, if you have a player like this available in the market for this price, you have to go for him. We know that Leicester City, they came out recently with Brendan Rodgers really strongly stating that they won't look to sell Chilwell. They are looking to improve, they are looking to be a better club themselves, and they want to keep hold of their best assets to help take them to that next level. So for me, I was very happy to hear that, because even though Ben does have potential and is a good player in his own right, he isn't worth double or triple the price compared to an amazing player like a Tagliafico. Now, Tagliafico has had interest in his name. We've seen clubs in La Liga from Barcelona and Atleti, and to break down their interest, Barcelona's interest mainly came from Messi being a massive advocate for his international teammate, and no surprise, Tagliafico really is one of those elite level fullbacks for me. But if he was to sign for them, of course, he'd be jeopardizing playing first team football, because Jordi Alba is currently the first choice left back, one of the best ones in the world. So that wouldn't be the best move for him. So this now takes us forward to Atletico Madrid. And here's where things do get interesting, because Romano, who we know is a very credible and elite tier 1 journalist, he came out to state that right now, Atleti are showing no interest in Tagliafico. So if he's saying that, I'm most definitely going to believe that. And for me, it comes across as like another example of inflated interest. So at this point in time, it means that we are clearly one of the favourites and one of the only clubs in the running to actually sign Tagliafico. Now for me, I'm just thinking about the bigger picture here. We've also shown interest in another Ajax player in Onana, and I think what could make the best financial sense, and my theory is based on how the club like to practice their business and their transfer tactics, is to buy Onana and Tagliafico together. Maybe this way it becomes a lot more affordable, because let's say you can tell Ajax, if you allow us to sign both players together, we're going to give you a bigger cut of that initial fee and then pay off the rest in installments. If we do things this way, hopefully Ajax, you can then bring down the overall fee for both these players together. So I would not be surprised if we did potential business like this. As I'm constantly stressing, Tagliafico is that perfect, proactive style fullback we need. And I say proactive for a reason. When you look at your Liverpools and your Man Cities, their fullbacks have to play an important role off the ball when it comes to closing down counterattacks. You don't want a fullback that's going to shy away or look to hold his position instead of being aggressive and closing down that man to stop a counterattack. So in that sense, Tagliafico will bring that. And in that sense, again, it's going to bring that perfect fullback balance between him and Reece James. So for me, this deal has to be done for his price right now and for the quality of the player too. It makes too much sense, and I feel strongly that I would not be surprised to see him playing for us next season. And you guys, on that note, I'm not going to end things with a final story today, and we end with a goalkeeping update. Now we start with the first one, and this is based on Areola, because a report did come out from French publications and they stated that Areola has bought a house in London. Now, this doesn't imply that he's guaranteed to sign for us. If anything, this tells you his intentions. It tells you that he is planning on playing in the Premier League from next season. There's so many London clubs that could look for a new goalkeeper, so maybe this could imply that we are holding talks. And I wouldn't be surprised, because we have had a bit of a long history with this player. Laurent Sean, our goalkeeping coach, he knows everything about top talented French goalkeepers. And Areola is a very good goalkeeper. Maybe he's decided to stay at the bigger clubs where he's not getting consistent game time. But compared to what we have in Kepa, he is better. He is more complete. aerially very good. His distribution is decent too. And he could be worthwhile if his price is affordable. Now, this news about him buying a house in London does not imply us. As I said, there's so many clubs in London. But I think this is a development to keep our eyes out for and to watch his space. And now to move on to the second keeper, of course, that's Dean Henderson. And reports have come out suggesting that we are looking to double his current contract. And if we did that, he'd be earning around 170k per week, which is a crazy amount of money. That's not too far from what Kepa's earning. And, you know, it's kind of funny. When did goalkeepers start earning this type of money? That sums up the game for you perfectly, you guys. But it seems like the issue we could have in signing Henderson comes down to the players want to stay at Manchester United and fight for that spot to become the number one. He does have a possibility now. We know that De Gea's form has been topsy-turvy. It's not looking too great. But the hold-up could be that De Gea only himself recently signed a long-term deal. He's on a massive contract. And of course, he has that key player status too. So his reality on getting that first-team football at United, it might not work out how he wants. It seems Lampard has asked the club to make this inquiry behind the availability of Henderson. And again, I think it's one of those cases where we need to watch the space. You know, we're starting to slowly get an idea of maybe the main goalkeepers we're starting to look at. We still don't know exactly the type of defenders and other positions we are looking at, but we are starting to slowly piece together the picture, you guys. And as I keep stressing, next season really is going to be absolutely beautiful. And on that point, you guys, that's going to be me for today. I hope you guys did enjoy. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm in the FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll see you guys later for the match day content. Hopefully once we've beaten Liverpool by the end of tonight. Peace.